Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Another exciting video for you today. I'm trying to get my fall decor to show up, but it's kind of hard. Oh no. So speaking of fall, I told you I was going to hit you guys up with more fall things. Today's video is going to be all about fall palettes. I'm going to explain before I show you palettes that I like a couple things. The color scheme, why I chose the palettes that I chose, and show you the palettes. That's what I'm going to do in the video. But before we get into it, I hope you consider subscribing to my channel, and you guys know that it means a lot to me for you guys to have subscribed to my channel and watch my videos. It is so much fun to film them, and I hope it's just as fun for you to see them. And don't forget to hit that like button at the end of the video to make sure, or during the video, whichever one, to show me that you are liking the content. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'll surely be posting fall content on there. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So as you guys may or may not know, fall is like my favorite season. The holidays start in fall. My birthday's in fall. The weather's beautiful. It's so warm. So cool, crisp, and cold. You can wear sweaters, layer up, wear scarves. And the makeup is beautiful, is inspiring. All of that, like weather changes and like the leaves changing, all that inspires me for my makeup, for how I dress. I love it. So for me, the color scheme of fall is very jewel tones. Oh, let me take a deep breath. Jewel tones, deep burgundies, deep purples, plums, greens like forest greens, khaki greens, army greens, marigolds. What else do I have in mind? Just like all the pumpkin-y colors that you can think of, like all of this right here. That to me, those colors right here, and even like a white, but more like a nature white right here. Oh, things like that. Let's see what other colors I have in my background so I can show you guys. Even like deep teals, like my wall. The jewel tones like that. Right in, I'm filming. Deep tones like that, it just inspire me, and I just wanted to give you a little background on where my color selection is coming from. And the reason that I chose these palettes is because a lot of these are high-end, and I do have a lot of affordable palettes. However, they've been discontinued. Like some of my favorite palettes have been discontinued, and I can't include them in this video. So the palettes that I included in this video are so that if you like a color scheme, you're still able to purchase it, because I want you to be able to have that option. If you're inspired, or if you have from your collection that you want to pull something from your collection and have that kind of inspire this video inspire your color choices, that's really cool too, because that's what I do for a lot of my looks. My first two palettes are these bite-size eyeshadow palettes, or quads, whatever you want to call it, from e.l.f. And I mean, look at these beautiful greens with that like marigold yellow at the end, and then these beautiful pumpkin spice colors. Right in, get over here. Let me open it up and show you a lot closer. One is jalapeno, and the other one is appropriately named pumpkin spice. And this is what they look like, and I think these together like form pretty much one of the biggest color schemes of like the fall. If I had like a burgundy palette, oh my gosh, that would like complete the look. A burgundy and then a cool tone palette, that to me is just like the quintessential fall right there. And I absolutely love these. Like the most special to me, these colors are these shimmers. I mean, if you haven't tried, the quality of these palettes is amazing, but these shimmers are so good. Like look at that. Super creamy. Raiden, you're not going upstairs. Super creamy, super beautiful. You cannot go wrong with picking up any of these, but these to me are just well suited for upcoming fall. Next up is going to be the Persona Identity palette, and well, actually Identity 2 is not the Identity palette. This is the Identity 2. And I mean, look at this palette. Oh, look at this palette right here. Has these beautiful jewel tones right here. This beautiful gray. Guys, this gray is so special. Like I do not have a gray like that in my collection. I tried to duplicate it with the Born to Run, two of the shades in there, and it came out okay. I like the look enough, like combining them if I wasn't trying to mimic that color. But that color is so special. I think the formula is amazing. This is such a great formula. Persona formula is probably one of the best in my collection. Mattes are beautiful. If you combine this with the matte, like the mattes in the Persona Identity, the first one, oof, you have such a variety to work with. And the shimmers are so beautiful. Let me show you this gray. That's my favorite. This purple, and I think this green. These three are so beautiful. Like it's a colorful palette, you could say, but these are jewel toned down shades. Like they're beautiful, but they're so toned down in such a, like, just, I guess, magical way. I don't know how to describe it other than that. It's just beautiful, and it just inspires me so much to use this palette. And honestly, one of the reasons that I also really enjoy this palette is because it's such a great travel palette. I know that, of course, a lot of people aren't traveling as much as we used to right now, but still, if you grab this one and then the Persona Identity, which they are relaunching with a new, there's going to be looking like this. They're such great travel palettes, honestly. So the next one is going to be Through My Eyes. It's a collaboration with ColourPop, and you know they just had a 25% off sale. I don't really use the mirrors in the palettes, which is why that's still there, the plastic. But look at this palette. Ooh, it is so beautiful, you guys. You have your burgundy right there, you have some greens, and then you have this like very nice cool tone shimmer right there. You still have a couple of more bright colors, but however they can be toned down. Like if you take, I think, these two out, it would just, the rest of it would look so beautiful. Like if you do that and that is very, to me, very fall. You have these more transition tones to help you blend in probably the burgundy. Even the green would work with that, but yes. And then you have this beautiful like mustard yellow right here that can work with the greens, it can work with the burgundy. To me, the stars of this palette are these two shades, Divina, Flex, Moody, and Emerald Dream. Those to me are the stars of this palette, and then everything else revolves around that and works beautifully all together. Even if you just want to go for an everyday look, put nostalgia right here, and euphoric, I can't say that right now, euphoric. Oh, I'm trying to pronounce it like German way because I was just doing some German homework. Euphoric, there you go, euphoric, I think. Yeah, you guys know what I mean. Palette is going to be the ABH and Jackie Aina palette, and I debated putting this one in, but however, I happened to be on the ABH website the other day and I saw that this is actually still available and it's on sale for $31.50. So if you wanted to pick this one up, or the Carly Bible one too, if you were ever interested in either one of those are still available for purchase on their website. And I mean, the packaging alone is so beautiful on this palette. It's probably like one of the best packaging as far as ABH goes. And then you open it up and it's just like a fall dream. Like Once Upon a Fall Dream right here, seriously. Right, crew, stop it. And you have such, like, I think honestly every shade in here is so unique. Even the mattes. I don't have anything like this. The closest probably to that I might have in my collection are the what is it, Ginger and Credit, a brown and like a mustardy yellow orange tinge one. But the rest of these are so unique, and they work so beautifully together. The stars of this palette to me is Sponsored, and let's see, Shookington. Oh, so beautiful. And even Liduation right here. These are shimmers, of course, but the mattes too. The mattes, I mean, the whole palette is so unique. Such a star palette. Honestly, if you don't own this, girl, what are you waiting for? You need to go own this. And especially because it's on sale right now, and the formula of this is beyond ABH formula. Like, oh my gosh, it's so good. Like, Jackie Aina did her thing on this palette, and they should have kept it as a permanent item. It's so good. But yeah, they didn't. But I would definitely recommend, if you ever thought of checking it out or you want to. It's $31.50 right now on the ABH website. Honestly, if I knew that like eyeshadow didn't expire and stuff, and I knew that I was gonna go through this quickly, I would buy a backup. But you know how that is. So the next one up is going to be by Juvia's Place, and honestly, I featured this last year in my fall video which I think this might have been the only one I featured. I'm not sure if I did. Pretty sure, because all the ones that I featured last year, a lot of them have been discontinued, unfortunately. But this one has not. And I'm so happy because it is so beautiful. Like, oh, look at this. You have your beautiful jewel tone colors again. We have a green, you have a blue, you have purples right here, you have golds, an orange gold, you have that burnt orange, which is so beautiful in like typical fall color. And then you have it in a shimmer, and then you have this like taupey color right here. And yet you have the champagne that can be used for just an everyday all over look with this one, or for an inner corner highlight. Like this palette has it all for me for fall looks. It's really pretty. The only thing I do find it a little lacking is in the mattes, but honestly I don't even mind because I can pull mattes from anywhere. But to me, the shimmers, again, the shimmers are so beautiful in this palette. And they just, even if you just go with these two and you have that purple one, but I think enough, most of us have enough mattes to where if we have a palette with beautiful shimmers like this, we can pull mattes from pretty much anywhere. Alrighty. Up next is going to be the Honey palette by the Naked Honey palette by Urban Decay. And this one is like, if you want some grungy yet neutral colors, especially if you're not ready to play with like cool tone, like not cool tones, excuse me, with jewel tone colors, but you still want some grungy fall looks, something to, you know, go with this time, with the season. I think this is such a good palette. It does have neutrals, but they are such unique neutrals. Because they are yellow based neutrals. Oh, I'm trying to show you guys. They're not going to be your typical browns or your neutral browns or your warm browns or your cool tone browns. These are all yellow based browns. Honestly, probably the most neutral brown is probably this one right here, the most neutral color. And that's like a white, but it still has a tinge of yellow right here, like a droplet of yellow. And this one, you can still see the yellow in it, but a little drop of red in it, just a drop. But definitely this, every look you're going to create with this is going to be very grungy, very just beautiful. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Beautiful. Everything is beautiful to me. I mean, fall is beautiful to me. But yeah, this is definitely your grungy neutral palette if you want something simple, easy to work with, but are not ready to play with some jewel tone colors, like very intense jewel tone colors. This is definitely the palette for you. I love it, and it's such a good formula. Up next is going to be another palette from e.l.f. And this one kind of combines what you have, a little bit of what you have in the Hot Jalapeno palette, but with also, some blue tone shades over here, but they're also very more dark than those lighter blues. The lightest blue in here is this one right here, and that you could probably use as a light crease shade and just add these as your lid colors. To be honest, I've never really dipped into this side of the palette. The only true colors that draw me on this side are this blue, Underwater, and Siren. I really want to try doing something for it with that. Those are so pretty. Look at that. Very beautiful. But this side of the palette right here, excluding Tundra, like if these had switched, that would have been perfect. This side, the green side, the yellow side, the gold side right here. Oh, it's so pretty. And you do have very similar shades in here, but if you're just looking for those green tones, hold on, you could probably just grab up the Hot Jalapeno palette and you'd be okay with that, because you have that yellow, you have that similar green. You don't have this darker green in there, but you have these three shades in here, right here. And then you have maybe these two to deepen it up, whereas you don't have that green, but you still have a good variety of that. So just giving you those two options. If you don't really like the blues and you're just looking for these tone of greens, you can just pick up the Hot Jalapeno. But if you're a fan of those blues too, this is such a good palette. And for $14, the quality is so good. I mean, the quality of all of these palettes is so good. So the next one up is going to be the So Jaded palette by Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. And this one, I mean, come on you guys, you know, this is full of beautiful jewel tone colors. You have beautiful purples, beautiful blues. You have this earthy right here, this whole 2 rows right here, earthy combination. The only drawback to this palette to me is her 2 glitter shades. To me, those were completely unnecessary, and I wish she had just gone with Super Shocks. But, and then, like I said, you have beautiful earth tones right here. You have your jewel tones right here, and then you have a little bit of everyday kind of shades up here, so you have a variety to work with. And I think this was such a well done palette. Like you just want to go with your face like that with your eyes and just rub that all over. It's so beautiful. I did debate getting this one just because it is a larger palette, but I think every shade is so unique, and the way she laid it out is so beautiful and perfect, where every quad can be create a look, or you can work in different ways. Like I think she said that diagonal too, or I know every quad, if you take every 4, it works as a eye look, and I think that's how she set it up. I know that. I don't know about diagonal or row or anything, but again, you can do whatever you want with your makeup, girl. And the last palette that I really want to feature, and I just want to give a little disclaimer that I haven't tried this palette either, but I tried the other ones from Sigma, and it's a Sigma Untamed, and I tried the other palettes, and I mean, honestly, they're amazing. And, oh, okay. And every little detail that they pay attention to this palette is beautiful. You know that it comes with a brush, and the brush is amazing, but you have, again, to me, these earthy tones right here, and then you have some like jewel tone blue, a purple. It's so beautiful, and you have kind of more everyday shades over here. And I think in the Sigma formula, which is one of the best, I mean top notch formulas I've ever tried, I have these beautiful shimmery shades that are like almost like toppers. And then you have your true shimmers like that, and they just work all in unison to create just beautiful looks. And then you can combine it with other palettes such as Sigma's own Enchanted palette, which again, to me, like, it has that beautiful green tones right there. They do have some similar purpley pinky looks, but they're different enough to where that's why I bought 2, because I can justify having these 2. And again, the formula to me is, I know that every time I know what I'm going to get with the Sigma formula, which is these beautiful like shimmery shimmers. Shimmers is the best way I can think of it. And then like these like glittery metallics and like toppers. Like this one is a topper. This one you can use as a topper and it looks beautiful. I've used this one as just, again, as a topper or as a shimmer. Like you can really pack it on there too, and they work beautiful both ways, and the mattes are so beautiful to work with. Honestly, when I saw this color story a year ago for their holiday collection, I think that's when this came out, I was mesmerized by it, because very unique color selection, very unique color story. And I've used this palette during the spring too. I just kind of avoid these darker shades, and when I do spring colors, I'll use that one, maybe a little bit of this and that one as my transition shades, my crease shades, and I'll just avoid the darker ones, and then I'll use everything else as a shimmers, because you can use this palette in so many ways in so many seasons. I wanted to give an honorable mention to that one. And then this one, like I said, it's the formula that drew me in, and I know it's going to be great. However, I use it because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful formula. One last honorable mention, and honestly, I really like it because I know that this came out during the summer, and it's like a bronzy palette. It makes you look bronzed and warm and sun-kissed. But then you open it and you think in terms of like pumpkin spice palette, like a full pumpkin spice palette. Honestly, the Natasha Denona bronze palette, to me, it really is fall colors, especially like these red tone colors. So beautiful. And if you just kind of want a little snapshot of it, I think if you pick up the pumpkin spice palette from e.l.f, if this is not in your budget, I think that would be like a beautiful, not, you know, shade for shade do, but just a snapshot of it. I think that would be great. Small little alternative. But I think that these shades will look beautiful. Also, I think obviously you can always combine your you know, your palettes and create different looks. Grab mattes from here, shimmers from there, and they just create such different looks, and it makes it look more unique and a beautiful, approachable eye color if you pull from different palettes. But again, the shimmers in her palettes are beautiful. Like these darker shades, perfect for right now. They're cooler tone, and to me, like, this is definitely a more of a pumpkin spice palette, if you want to call it, instead of the bronze palette. A fuller pumpkin spice palette. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was really fun to go through my collection and pick out palettes. I did have to be careful what I picked out, again, because discontinued things and making sure that it's available for you guys if something, you know, sparks your interest or whatever. Or I had to be careful with my palette selection, just because if a palette color story sparked your interest, I didn't want it to be unavailable for you. I don't mind having limited edition palettes. I will put them in my Shop My Stashes. I might even create a look with it, and I can suggest something similar. But for something like this, I want something to be available for you, because otherwise, what's the fun in recommending fall palettes if they're not available? So yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a great, wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great, wonderful rest of your day. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.